This entire military is one cohesive, dedicated force. And the threats to our nations, they don't sleep. They're watching our every move. Iran, Russia, China, North Korea, ISIS, Al-Qaeda. They may be watching this right now. Our military should not be mistaken for a cable news gabfest show. We don't care what you look like. We don't care who you voted for, who you worship, what you worship, who you love. It doesn't matter if your dad left you millions when he died or if you knew who your father was. We have been honed into a machine of lethal moving parts that you would be wise to avoid if you know what's good for you. We will not be intimidated. We will not back down. We don't want war. But if you want war with the United States of America, there's one thing I can promise you, so help me God. Someone else will raise your sons and daughters.
Military Broadcast Radio, the station that's giving veterans a voice.
Find us on the web at mbradio.us.
Welcome to the From Pain to Purpose radio show. I'm your host, Eva Fulton. In this show, we explore the incredible journeys of resilience, healing, and transformation. In each episode, we will sit down with individuals who have faced unimaginable struggles and turned their pain into power, heartbreak into hope, and their challenges into meaningful change and finding new purpose in life. Through candid conversations and inspiring stories, we will uncover how pain, whether emotional, physical, mental, or spiritual, can be the catalyst for profound growth and a deeper sense of purpose. So if you are looking for motivation, insight, and real stories of triumph over adversity, you're in the right place. Let's get started on this journey from pain to purpose. Let's give veterans a voice through Military Broadcast Talk. Having some mic problems today. I'm here talking, and so sorry, folks. I just happened to see that the mic wasn't working. So anyways, the gremlins have been on my computer today. Not sure what's happening. I'll start it all over again. So hi, I'm Eva Fulton, the host of the From Pain. It's doing it by itself. The mic is just cutting off by itself. So I will keep watching this I'm the host of From Pain to Purpose radio show here on Military Broadcast Radio. It is Saturday, April 18th, the year of our Lord, 2026. I was just rambling about what my new one-way commute is, and it's averaging about 2 hours, 45 minutes one way. And it's been making for a very long week. This 2 weeks, 2 weeks now of doing that. Sorry, see the mic is just popping off and on all by itself on the computer side, not the mic itself. So I'm not really sure what's happening. So hopefully I can get through the show. I do not have a guest today. My guest actually was double booked. Sorry, I was not able to have a show last week. I was sick. I'm not sure, the whole sinus thing, maybe everything is coating with pollen. So who knows? It just got to me last week. So I haven't been to the gym in 2 weeks, but I felt really good. And I went golfing today. So that's part of what I want to share. Just my 2 cents, my thoughts about golfing today. Really had a good time. Y'all know that my word for the year is intentional. And I was really sorry, it's the mic again. Maybe it's just, the connection with my cell phone. Not sure what it's doing. I had to disconnect the cell phone. Maybe it was competing which mic to use. I was really tempted to go hiking and camping for the weekend because, I love the trail. Love, love, love the trail. And there's just so much, freedom. There's so much to unpack out there on the trail. The mic, I don't know. It's not this mic. It's something on the computer, and I already rebooted. So hopefully I won't lose y'all. Anyhow, so I'm trying to think. So, I'll finish on the commute. The office move has really kind of messed with me because I was doing about a 2-hour commute. And there was a point to all of this. Sometimes there are things that are not in our control, and we have to accommodate. We just have to be flexible. It's not like, I knew that this was going to happen. I knew the move was going to happen, but they couldn't give us a for sure timeline of when it was going to happen. And then, of course, I have 2 of my kids that live in my house in Texas. So, what to do there, what to do here. And a lot of it is just these are circumstances beyond our control. And we really just, you have to figure out what are my options. You look at the elephant, 10 different directions and see how to navigate those things. And, so far I drive half an hour, I bus for about an hour and, hour and a half. And time dependent on the way back is if you miss the timing between the metro and the bus, you have to wait for one or the other, because they're on a schedule. So I commuter bus is the second. I walk, and it's the metro, and then getting over to the office isn't very far, but it's exhausting. And I do 10-hour days. Wow, this is I don't know what the mic problem is, but you just have to be flexible in life. I've thought about doing the driving to the metro, but then I'd have to take 2 metro trips, 2 different lines. So I'd have to pay for the toll bridge. Um, and I'd probably save about 40 minutes or so, but the cost of the toll bridge makes it unaffordable. I'd drive all the way, but I'd still have the toll bridge and I'd have the gas price too. So there is no win-win except for, these long commutes, but at least I get to sleep on the bus and make up some of that time. Um, and I think the thought process on why that's even important now. I mean, I'm a civilian now. I work for the federal government, but every time I get on a roll, I have to go click this mic thing that's happening. Sorry, folks. Um, so there are circumstances beyond our control. I mean, look at, the scenery behind me. These were circumstances beyond our control. We learn how to adapt and overcome. These things don't change even when we get out of the military, right? There are circumstances beyond our control, but we just learn how to roll with them. We learn how to accommodate. How do I find some work-life balance afterwards, in my own personal life, my personal time that doesn't revolve around what the bus schedule is, what all this other transportation stuff is. I wonder if I can try. Sorry. Thought maybe if I even try something with background. My phone's trying to interfere and take over too. Silly things. Silly things. All right. So let's see. What else did I have go on this week? So I before I get into my lessons and tensions from my Gremlins today. Just as the gremlins. I'm not trying to connect my phone. It's popping in everywhere. So, so my dissertation proposal, I completed it. Next up is the IRB, which is the Internal Review Board. So I'm super stoked. I have been on this education journey. I think I started this in 2021. No, it was during COVID. I swear I think education has been my boyfriend, but it's kept me out of trouble. I mean, think about it. Education, my time spent doing my educational pursuits, um, have taken up some of their free time that I would have been, I frankly bored. It's not like I don't know how to find other projects. I'm great at finding projects. I'm great at finding all kinds of different things to do. But it has kept me, I want to say, very focused, right? Very focused. And I had each class has been able to give me a little mini goal, because the way the doctoral program, at least at my school, has been designed as 8-week classes up until this dissertation sequence. And that was great because the 8-week micro sprints has really been good. Not sure, somebody's entering the studio. The micro sprints of the 8-week classes were really good. There's a certain empowerment that you have when you get papers done, when you learn these new subjects, and then you are able to, you know, see a finish line for that particular class. And that was, I think, really for me, a sense of accomplishment, and especially, like, I guess, in a way, not just because I know that there's going to be a degree at the end, but this has been part of a career goal that I've had since about, see, I'm trying to think when I did, about 2009. When I finished my MBA, actually, when I finished my bachelor's, my voc rehab counselor. So I am a VA voc rehab success story. Very, how do I say? The voc rehab program saved me and my family because we had no income coming in. Well, virtually no income. I was making about $361 a month in my VA disability at the time. That was only a 30% disability. And we were fixing to become unhoused. And I was able to get into the voc rehab program and be able to have education became my job, right? And I felt this empowerment when I was going through that bachelor program. I did 45 hours in 1 year. I was so empowered to get my education that it made me feel good. I knew that I'm going to use my hiking terminology. I was able to start putting one foot in front of the other and stop the struggling of not having control. I could control what I was doing with my homework and the grade that I was going to get, because I was endeavoring to make sure that I was going to get the best grade that I could, because I really wanted to absorb. I really wanted to feel success in my education. And that has been one of my outlets and inlet. It's really kind of been this nice, good little giving and receiving, if you will, because I poured my heart and soul into my education to further me and what I was going to be able to do for my family. So, this is where, how much do I tell of my story? I've told so much of my story, but we lost our house in 2008, part of the housing crisis, and Tarrant County did not assess the property taxes correctly, and the mortgage company paid the property taxes, and we couldn't pay it in time. I was married then, and we got the house foreclosed on. And that was part of the whole housing bubble thing. And that was because the mortgage was jumping from bank to bank to bank. And we couldn't play catch up on figuring out, well, who do we pay now? And before we knew it, it went into foreclosure. We ended up couch surfing at my mother's house, who has since passed away. And after that, we ended up moving into a mobile home. Lost my vehicle. And so here I was with 4 kids. And my husband at the time was traveling. This was, he was doing construction for Hurricane Katrina stuff down in Louisiana.
And I was there at the house with 4 kids and a mobile home, only having $361 a month coming in and trying to figure out how do I pay rent. And I had applied for food stamps, didn't know that I could have had a phone call appointment. My mother let me use her car to go to the university. To the VA to sign up for the voc rehab program. They let me go to Dallas Baptist University because I didn't have a car, had 2 young kids at the house. The other 2 older boys were in school, and I was able to finish my bachelor degree and then my MBA online. I was an online student. Out of an MBA, out of the BA, the MBA, a second master's, and now my PhD, I've not had really any in-person classes. All of my classes have been online. So my voc rehab caseworker sent me to get my MBA. So that was still part of the voc rehab program there. I got a scholarship with it was a different program called Veterans Campaign with the University of San Francisco. That was a Master of Arts in Public Leadership. And so I didn't have to pay anything there. It was a scholarship. I was very, very blessed. And now with this doctoral program, I had gotten my 100% in 2018, and the 100% permanent total is what is paying for my PhD. So I've been very, very blessed to have been able to leverage a variety of resources, mainly 2 different resources to work on my educational pursuits. But the good news is that all of my education has helped me do what I do as a federal employee. And then my PhD is going to pay it forward to all the female combat veterans out there. I'm really excited about the direction that is going to take. And, we'll hopefully be able to start launching the study in the very near future, as soon as I get the IRB approval. And that will be cool because I'll be able to even do an advertisement here on MBR for recruiting in the state of Texas. That's the plan. So, like I said, this is all paying it forward. Yes, these are your tax dollars, but just know that this is not something that Eva is doing for Eva. This is something that Eva is doing for all of my sisters out there that, that I've been so very, very proud to serve with all this time. And I'm just one of those who is humbly setting the standard, setting the path for those to follow after and keep moving forward. So, hopefully somebody finds some encouragement in what you're doing in your educational pursuit, and just know that it's going to be rewarding when you get through it, because, and the odd thing is, I was going to say, to walk across the stage, I got to do it for my bachelor's and my MBA, but because of COVID, I didn't get to walk across the stage for my second master's. So it will be very rewarding when I graduate with this degree. I've been going to National University, and it is a veteran-based university. I will feel some kind of something walking across the stage for this degree, because it's been hard fought. It has been a definite journey. I mean, I think just you learn a lot about yourself from the mental standpoint, which is far different than the physical standpoint that I experienced out there on the trail or on the Camino. This is the mental stamina to keep pushing through and to wrap your head around, the different things that you're contemplating, to say, oh, now, and maybe I just have, my challenges with headaches. That has been certainly something I have struggled with since I got, I want to say since the Gulf War. Headaches have been part of my journey, to say the least, that, it makes thinking difficult. So walking across the stage when this happens, hopefully later this year, it will have been very well earned. And, this has been part of my pursuit since when I had those talks with my voc rehab counselor, was because one of my goals in my career, one of my goals has been to be a professor. And I didn't know how to just get there by only doing the work side. And it just made logical sense that I needed this education side to support things. And when I'm ready to, I want to say, retire from the federal government side, then I can transition and be a professor. I can go work at different universities if I want to. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know what God's plan is with this. So I'm just kind of, all right, being obedient in this education, pursuit, whatever God has in store. I'm not quite sure what that's going to look like when I graduate. And, I'm willing. I just say that I'm willing. So anywho, you know what? Let me go ahead and play a commercial because it's just me. And then when I come back, I am going to pop in and come back and talk about golf, right? Let's talk about golf. Great weather. We got this. We'll be right back.
About the way I'm feeling, 'cause I'm not sure I'm feeling alright.
Welcome back. I like that tune. I don't know about you guys. I don't know. Felt like I was rocking it today. Rocking it. Oh, Terry, I just saw your comment. You're doing amazing. Thank you. I think the Mike Gremlin went away. This little charger here on my desk that I can put my phone on. And I think it just kind of kept conflicting with the mic on my phone versus on the computer. So who knows? All right, who knows? All right, so let's jump into golf, right? It's springtime, and this has always been, I know it sounds kind of funny, one of my alternative sports in life. When I was taking my golf gear out of the truck, I'm looking at the back seat. And so, no kidding. Y'all need to just call me Gear Girl or something. So I have, this will sound funny, right? I have hiking gear in the back seat. I have bowling gear in the back seat. I have my gym bag because I have my new powerlifting stuff that I've been doing. And now I have my golf bag in the back seat. And I was thinking, man, what other kind of gear do I have? I got so much gear. I have scuba gear over there in the corner. But I haven't been scuba diving in a few years. So yeah. I got the crochet hooks over there. Got a yoga mat, camping gear. Yep. I got plenty of camping gear, and of course I have my hiking backpack all packed, but it's not in the truck. It is just it's in there in my room. I have so much gear, but you know what? I have opportunities to do things cuz why? I I have a time where I like resting, but an idle mind is a devil's playground. And I don't know if you've ever heard that before, but it's so true. An idle mind is a devil's playground. And yes, my mind said, I want to go hiking and camping all weekend long. And who knows, I might get a wild hair and I don't know, maybe I'll drive somewhere and go do it tonight. The bag is packed. And I could come back Monday before the show. Who knows? I might do that. I got everything ready. I can just grab and go. But nope, because I have a tea time scheduled for Monday morning at 8. So, anyways, let's talk golf. Why do I golf? Why did I get into even talking about this gear? And there's plenty of opportunities to accumulate any of your gear that you might be interested in trying to do a sport. Eh, when I was active duty, I got on this wild hair in Germany because I was trying to figure out what does Eva like to do. And this was when I had my two oldest boys, so they were 3 and 5, somewhere one of those ages. And I joined the community softball league. I was not a player in high school. I was not Miss Athlete by any means. But I got out of my little comfort zone and I was like, yeah, let's go do this. And my winter sport was bowling. I joined the bowling league. And that was how I got out there to meet people and not be stuck at the house with, my kids. That I had an outlet. But it was kind of nice because both places were safe to bring my little ones at the time. Usually I would, when I was active duty, I'd go to the game and we went hiking somewhere afterwards. I went all over the place, went to castles. We got out there and explored. That part of me has not changed. I just had to figure out and adjust, how I do it and what I do to just really enjoy. It's not about work-life balance. It goes back to figuring out what you like to do. And now that you're out, why not? Why not start? So how have I picked up gear for all these things along the way? Well, one, I didn't lay out thousands and thousands of dollars all at once. And in fact, even the golf bag I have uh, out in my truck right now, it's the second bag I've ever bought, but I bought it on a discount at one, hardware, not a, it's a sports store, but it was marked down and it was really light. Price was right, or I wasn't going to get it. I still have all the original clubs that I started out with. Mostly all the original clubs. Some of them were garage sale clubs, even, right? My woods are garage sale, and the only one club that I really bought that was brand new was my driver, and of course it's pink. But it's a big, huge driver that I love. It's got a very light graphite handle, and I haven't. The rest of it hasn't been like terribly expensive. Golf shoes, the tees, and the balls. I got a gazillion balls that I've accumulated new over the years. You go to different functions and they tend to give you some balls, and then of course the shoes. And that was not, you can get those off of Amazon pretty cheap, actually. Even my new bowling shoes I got pretty cheap off of Amazon. But look out there, folks. If you're looking to do something new and different, and even just going and hitting balls, just hitting balls, not playing the game, but just hitting balls and getting comfortable with swinging. $5 for a small bucket of balls. They give you a little coin, $5 for 30 balls. All right. If you want to do 10, $10 for 60 balls. You can space out how long you hit the 60 balls. But it's something to focus on, right? It's something, it got you out of the house. And it's something that you can focus on and be intentional about, and just you put out the rest. And you know what? There's nothing better, to some degree, really nothing better than smacking that ball. That's right. Smack the ball. Just, I'm going to use a cuss word. Hit the shit out of it. It feels good. And the nice part is that I wasn't frustrated about anything today, but it feels good to hit a ball. Who doesn't like to hit a ball? So it was nice. So this is a new golf course it's not a new golf course. It's a new golf course to me, not too far away. And nice little public course. It was $50 to play 18 holes. And it was beautifully laid out. It's got the water hazards, right? Got the water hazards. What in life doesn't have some kind of water hazards? But life is going to be like that, right? It's going to be a challenge. And part of it that I wanted to focus on was that I was doing that self-talk. Y'all know what I'm talking about? You do the self-talk. Don't get in my head. Don't let myself get in my head. Because the first two holes, I tell you, I felt really good about. And the next two holes, I was texting my friend John, and I said, man, those two holes suck. Yes, I'm going to say it. Those two holes suck. I didn't like those. Holes 3 and 4 sucked. But I had to remember, get out of my head, because I wanted to have a good time. I wanted to be successful. I wanted to be able to enjoy. And you know what? Just relax in it. Just relax in it and find the groove. So I changed up my mindset, and I was like, okay, experiment with which club are you going to use for this hole. So I had already, before the game started, I downloaded a new app, that I was hoping was going to help me with figuring out which club to use, because I know that's part of my weakness. Which club do I use? How far can I hit it and make it go where I want it to go? Well, when I was up there hitting the practice balls, I felt pretty good. And I'm not a power hitter by any means, right? I'm not a power hitter, but I hit straight. That's always been one of my really good strengths, is I hit straight. I don't veer off to the left or the right very often. Even when I'm on the course, like I said, it may not be a power shot, but it's straight. I'm pretty consistent with a good straight shot down the line, down the fairway. And but the part that I get in my head is when I have to hit it over the water hazard, because I just don't always get the lift on it. Even if I'm using the 9-iron, I don't always get the lift on it that I want. And then I get in my head again, right? So my new favorite iron, though, is the 6-iron. I feel really confident today. I'm going to qualify. I felt really confident today in using my 6-iron. I've not been, I don't know, everybody's always like, use the 9, use the 3. I haven't used the 3 so much. Don't really use the other ones, but the 6, it's my new favorite iron. I'm just saying, it's my new favorite iron. And I'm not necessarily one of those people who like to watch golf either, unless I'm in person. I've taken my kids to PGA events in Fort Worth area. And for those folks that don't know, I am a PGA Hope. I think we're called alumni. I am a PGA Hope from the Dallas-Fort Worth area. If you have not registered and participated in PGA Hope, I recommend you reach out to your local chapter and get involved. If that's something that you didn't know was out there, and hey, shout out to PGA Hope if one of you guys want to come on and talk about the program. I would love to have you on and talk about what you do across the country. But why did I do this? Why? Right? Because I wanted to go hiking. Brain says go hiking and camping all weekend long, but I'm trying to be intentional with my time. I'm participating in the VA Golden Games this summer, right, in Tampa. Well, I have to have my handicap. So I was very diligent and made sure I kept score today. When I got back to the clubhouse, they helped me sign up, and I have my I think they call it the GIN number. I have my GIN number now, and I logged in my first 18 holes today, and not bad. I had never played at this course before. So but I'm playing Monday morning, and that's before the men's. They have a big, huge Monday men's group that plays. So I have the first tee time, and I'll zip through. I won't have to wait for anybody, which is kind of nice. I played a little slow today because I was waiting for this threesome in front of me, and there was a twosome in front of them, who both coincidentally was a husband, wife, and the twosome. And then it was 3 guys that were in front of me, and both had offered to let me play with, which was really nice. You feel awkward sometimes as a woman and going out there and playing by yourself. I saw some older women, but it was nice to see, a younger woman with her husband go play. And there I was playing by myself. Some people don't think that golf is necessarily something you play by yourself, but I'm telling you, yes, you can. Yes, you can. And you can just enjoy the peace and quiet. Right? You can drive the golf course wherever you want. I'm not crazy on the golf course. There are rules about driving on the golf course. You know, there are. Make sure you watch the signs if you're not used to it. They had the golf cart girl driving around. It was a little expensive for the egg salad sandwich though, but it was nice. $10 for an egg salad sandwich, but it was a decent egg salad sandwich. It wasn't store bought, but it filled the tummy. But I want to get back to why. Why even talk about any of this stuff, folks? Don't sit at home. If the idle mind is the devil's playground, then don't sit there idle. And I don't care if this is about education, because you know you probably have some benefits you could use. And it doesn't have to be college, it could be trade, it could be go take an art class, it could go welding. There are plenty of options out there that you don't have to sit at home and twiddle your thumbs. Which brings me up to something I wanted to make sure I discuss. Let's see if I can find the website real fast so I can drop the link in here. Let's see. Common Ground on the Hill in Westminster. Yep, here is. I'm going to drop the main link in the chat. So if you guys don't know Jose, he's on the motivated mindset. He's on the show right after me. So Jose and I are going to teach a class at the end. That's the beginning of July. So I dropped it in the chat. Let me go ahead and show it on screen. commongroundonthehill.org. Go, let's see, didn't open my email. Let me go find my email from Jose. Let's see if it'll open up somewhere on my screen. Where is it? It's hiding somewhere on my screen. Here we go. Gotta find it real fast, guys, because I don't think I let's see. I shared the flyer the other day. Let's see if it'll let me. I know what I can do. I can share screen. That's definitely, I think, what I'm going to have to do. Share screen. My other. Yep. Y'all see that? I don't know what you're seeing. Well, there's the link. So yes, that's right. Common Ground on the Hill. And you can scroll down. Let's see. You want to find learn more. There you go. Learn more. And there's some other links there you can read. Let's see. Here's the programs and workshops. I think that's the one you want. This is the Traditions Week is the one you want. And then we want to scroll to down here is the July 6th through 10. And you can go by category. Let's see. I think I saw for us, we are period 1. And I'm pretty sure it's towards the bottom. If I can find it down here, because it is the Here we go. Women in the military. Where's my mic with Eva Fulton and Jose Flores, week 2. And I'm going to drop this in the chat so that y'all have the link here. Now, how do you sign up for this? So I'm going to drop another email. I'm going to drop an email in here, and this is who you need to reach out to. It is Maria at Common Ground on thehill.org. Okay. Pretty sure. Come on. Oh, let's see. It's thinking. Oh no, maybe it didn't like it. Why is it not posting it? Maria at Common Ground on thehill.org. Well, for some reason, it is not wanting to post the email address. Let's see. Can I share? Let's see. I can stop screen and share my other screen. Is it going to let me? Let's see. Yeah. All right. Think I can do it this way. Here we go. Yep. I got so many emails, folks. Let's see. Why is it not letting it? Not letting it. I don't know why. That's crazy. Okay. Well, I will post it. I'll post the email address a different way. But what about it, right? So this event we're teaching is the first week of July. So you check in Sunday evening, and we'll have like a little orientation thing, a little social get together thing, right? Kind of see. Oh, it did finally come through on the. It finally came through on the chat stuff. Here we go. Maria at commongroundonthehill.org. Send Maria an email and ask her about the scholarship to participate in the Veterans Program. July 6th through 10th. This is in Westminster, Maryland at McDaniel College. It's a great, fun event, guys, all week long. So last year I learned how to play the guitar. I'm not very good, but I learned some. I need to practice. And I learned how to write a song. So I actually have produced a song. That was fun. And just participated with other people, other veterans there. So we are gonna focus on this women's class called Where's My Mic? Right? Because where's my mic? I want to help teach you how to find your voice. And who knows, maybe you want to become a podcaster. Come and, practice with us. So each day during the week, we're going to focus on a different aspect of finding our mic. And, I'm saying that this is not where you're necessarily we're not teaching you how to become a podcaster, though you could. It's really finding your voice of who you are as a woman, right? As a veteran, as a mother, whatever it is that you are trying to find your voice in kind of a therapeutic way, but fun, right? Fun, right? What is the story you want to tell? Maybe what kind of guests would you have on your show? We're going to talk about some things and explore something that I didn't know. Growing up and becoming a podcaster was not on my bingo list of things to do in life, but it is something that I have learned how to do now. And I have fun at this, right? This is fun. I'm committed to doing this. So I've been podcasting for about a year and a half now and enjoying it. This is a live show, so it's maybe not for everybody. But there's a certain comfort that we live, right? And we just enjoy, Joel saying, love your face. You're doing amazing, Eva. Thanks, Joel. That's so sweet. Joel's he's the president of MBR. So to get feedback like that is so sweet. But that's part of what we do here with MBR. We're giving veterans a voice, and we want to share this opportunity with two of us as hosts. And like I said, scholarships are available. It's relaxing. It's dorm style living. And what we did last year, we hosted a show during the concert that they have, or before the concert that they have. And so you get to hear music, and these are a bunch of I want to say it. They're a bunch of hippies that have learned music throughout the years, and they're sharing it with us. Some of them are pretty famous or have worked with famous singers. So, it's a good time. So anyways, reach out to me or Jose, reach out to Maria at commongroundonthehill.org in Maryland, and we'll get you plugged in. So anyways, thank you all for joining me. And I do have a guest next week, and we're going to talk about veterans employment in the federal government. So y'all have a great week and enjoy. Be blessed. Love you guys. Oh, and join me and Daryl on Monday for the Revivalist Radio Show. Talk to you later. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in to Military Broadcast Radio. As we wrap up today's show, we want to remind you that the podcast of today's episode will be available right after we go off the air. So if you missed any part of the show or want to listen again, be sure to check it out. And remember, we're here to support and honor our veterans. Your stories and experiences matter, and we are committed to giving you a platform to share them. That's right. We're here to give our veterans a voice. So don't forget to catch the podcast and stay connected with us. Giving our veterans a voice.